right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Saturday, September 14th, and the Yankees were taking on the Red Sox in Game 3 of a 4-game set. Gerrit Cole was on the mound, and one of the weirdest starts of his career happened today. We'll talk about it. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to the New York City.
Pinstripe Territory.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Literal head scratcher. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. That was one of the weirder games that I've seen the Yankees play in recent memory. I can't remember many games that have turned on a dime like that on an intentional walk. Detail all of it in a moment. But the offense was putrid again, and the Yankees have had their winning streak snapped. And now the Orioles are going to be playing the Tigers today, and they got Corbin Burnes on the mound. So good chance that the Yankees drop a game in the division. But this is just an odd day. One of the most uncompetitive moments that I've seen on a baseball field in my baseball watching life. So here you are. You're the Yankees. You got the best record in the American League. And you're playing your arch rival. And you got a full stadium. You've won the first 2 games of the series. And you've basically killed the Red Sox playoff aspirations the last 2 days. You win game 1 on a walk-off. You win game 2 on a big grand slam from your captain, Aaron Judge. And you're feeling good. And you're going into this game confident. And you would think that you would be playing aggressively and trying to win the game. So, with Rafael Devers coming to the plate, wrong screen here. Whoops, I've got to share. I've got this. Hang on, Rob Friedman. He posted a thing here. I got to show you. I got to show you what happened. So with the Yankees winning 1-0, Gerrit Cole does this. He puts up 4 fingers and intentionally walks Rafael Devers. You can see Devers is in disbelief. He was throwing a no-hitter at the time. And Cole just throws up the 4 fingers and points to first base. Totally not competitive approach there. Saying, I don't want any part of you. And after that, the Red Sox just destroyed the Yankees. Cole gave up 7 runs in the next inning. Over the next 3 outs, 7 runs. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. A guy walking a hitter with the bases empty while throwing a no-hitter? Look, I got to say, if that decision came from Gerrit Cole, and we don't know 100% that it did, but it looked like it did, then it showed the exact opposite characteristics of what you want in an ace. If you're an ace, you're supposed to have guts. You're supposed to have a competitive fire, a belief that you can get anybody out. You were the Cy Young Award winner last year, Gerrit. And you don't even have the guts to pitch to Rafael Devers in a 1-0 game in the 4th inning? Like I'm totally like I've never seen anything like that. From that's like if Michael Jordan, with the team up by a basket, took himself out of the game. Or LeBron James. You just don't do that. If you're a competitor and you're getting paid $36 million, you pitch. You try and get him out. And that kind of lit a fire under the Red Sox ass. They said basically, I guess this guy doesn't have it today. If he doesn't think he can get Devers out. That was one of the more gutless moves I've ever seen. And it totally robbed the Yankees and Gerrit Cole of his individual momentum today, but it might have robbed the Yankees of some serious momentum that was building. over the last several days. They say momentum is as strong as your next day's starting pitcher, right? And to a large part, I do agree with that. You know, if your pitcher comes out and throws a stinker, right, and gives up 8 runs in the first inning, probably not going to win that game. But there's kind of a higher level of momentum this time of year when you're approaching the playoffs. And we've talked a lot on this podcast about how you gather a win streak and how you make a team hot. It's about putting together a bunch of little moments, right? Putting together a bunch of little things. You don't catch fire as a team generally when one guy gets hot. You want a bunch of guys to get hot. You know, great teams can get hot and be bulldozers. Not so great teams can get hot too and go on incredible runs. The Rockies in 2007 went 21-1 down the stretch. Last year, the 84-win Diamondbacks went to the World Series. Got hot at the right time. The Cardinals in 2006, 83 wins. And they won the World Series. Jeter used to always say, it's not the best team that wins in the playoffs, it's the hottest. And what is hot exactly? How does a team become hot? Does it happen instantaneously? Not usually. It's a lot of guys contributing at the same time, usually combined with a few lucky breaks. I've said before that winning streaks, they gather energy like a storm, right? And you could feel the storm gathering energy over the last few days. You had the back-to-back walk-off wins. You had the injection of a bunch of healthy young players, healthy arms. Hamilton throwing great. Weaver with the 6-out save yesterday. You got Birdie back. Chisholm's back. Dominguez called up. You got all this energy, all this youth, and you've been winning. And with this newly constructed roster, you got Clark Schmidt back, by the way. With this newly constructed roster, you're the healthiest you've been all season, and you're starting to win, and you're starting to build that momentum. And the storm was gathering like, Thor with, summoning lightning to his hammer. You felt like the Yankees were about to drop it on the American League. Every Yankees fan that I'm in contact with and every Yankees account that I follow all seem to be feeling this momentum that the Yankees had building this morning. But the thing about momentum is you have to be very, very careful not to kill it. Which brings me to my next point. Gerrit Cole had tremendous momentum himself today. 3 1/3 innings, dominating. He had a 7-pitch first inning. He had a 13-pitch second inning. He had a 13-pitch third inning. He had a no-hitter going. He looked as good as he's looked all season. To the point where I was thinking, he's got no-hit stuff today. He has no-hit stuff for sure. And then in the 4th inning, Yankees up 1-0. Devers comes up to bat with 1 out. And Cole does the 4 fingers. And look at the look of befuddlement on Devers' face. He couldn't believe it. He absolutely couldn't. What? They're walking me? That gif will live in infamy. In infamy. Every time that an opposing hitter is crushing the Yankees from now on, you're going to see that. Every time Gerrit Cole has a bad outing, you're going to see that. That's going to live in infamy. So after the walk, Cole allowed 7 runs. So whose decision was it? It looked like Cole's decision. It's possible that it was something that they decided before the game. We saw Aaron Boone follow him into the tunnel after the inning. If it was Gerrit Cole's decision, that's just the exact opposite of what you want in a competitor. Exact opposite. If it was Boone's decision, that's just overthinking the room and screwing with a pitcher's momentum when he's got a no-hitter going. But I want to know. I want to hear from Aaron Boone and Gerrit Cole on the postgame show today. I recorded it, And I'm going to watch it after this. And if somebody, gathers something, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll talk about it. But that basically decided the whole game. And another thing, if Gerrit Cole was doing that, it was not only gutless and non-competitive, but it's not his job. He is not the manager. Your job is to pitch and to try and get every hitter out unless you're told to put somebody on base. Absolute joke. Quick word from HelloFresh, and then we will go through the game recap quite quickly because I don't think there's a lot about this game that was worth reliving. Pop quiz. What is America's #1 meal kit? Well, that would be HelloFresh. And it even works for picky eaters like me. There's an ever-changing menu of 50 recipes to choose from every week. I just select my meals and my delivery date, and voila, home-cooked meals that just hit different. Listen, I cover a lot of podcasts, including this one, which means I spend a lot of time in the studio. I don't have time to search recipes all night or spend money on a whole jar of spices for just one meal. That's why I prefer HelloFresh, because my wife gets to spend more time with me. We even get to make meals together and avoid those last-minute trips to the grocery store. Dinner is ready when we need it. By the way, you can get free breakfast for life by going to HelloFresh.com/freeFT. That's one free breakfast item per box for the entire duration of your active subscription. That's free breakfast for life just by going to HelloFresh.com/freeFT.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Got so many great comments here already. My Yankee 7 Marrero says, Cole's body language suggested he didn't want to be there. It was weird. It really was bad body language, especially the walk. I mean, especially after the walk, but like the walk itself, let's take a look at that again. Like, as we see the reaction from Devers. What is he doing? He's saying, I don't want anything to do with you. That's a gift that will live forever. Sam says it was embarrassing, and I agree. Jake says it blew the momentum and ultimately the game. Craig M. just says, it's not what you want. It's not what you want at all. And then Sam G. says, and letting Devers steal second, he was done. And look, I don't blame you. This was one of the you want to see competitiveness. This is one of the least competitive things I've ever seen in any professional sport. Forget just baseball. So let's begin. I like the way things began. Cole actually drilled Rafael Devers. Now, if you want to do that, no, he drilled Devers and then he immediately got an around the horn double play. 7-pitch first inning. He looked sharp. 13-pitch second. 13-pitch third. Everybody was quiet through 3. Bottom 3, Anthony Volpe led off the inning with a base hit up the middle, and then he came in to score on a shot into the right field corner by Verdugo, but Verdugo got thrown out going to second again. Verdugo has been thrown out going to second twice this week. He's not had a good week.
They're eating the dogs.
I'll never get tired of that soundbite. Gleyber Torres followed up with a line drive single to make it 1-0. That scored Volpe. That was the end of the Yankees offense for the day. Very nice piece of hitting by Gleyber Torres, by the way. OPS climbing up towards 700. And he's had some big postseason hits in his career. People forget that he kind of has the clutch gene a little bit. So he has the opposite of whatever the clutch gene is defensively. But offensively, would not shock me if he got a big postseason hit or two. Top 4 with 1 out. Cole walks Devers intentionally. He promptly steals second base, and that was the beginning of the end. Next batter walked, and then Yoshida placed a opposite field double right down the line, ground rule double. Next batter was Wilyer Abreu. He ripped a 2-run single. It was 3-1. So walking Devers intentionally was basically a white flag at a period in the game where the Yankees were winning and Cole was throwing a no-hitter. I just don't understand it. I'll never understand it. No amount of explaining it after the game can make me understand that decision. You pitch there. You go after him. If you're a competitor, you're getting paid $36 million, you got a 1-0 lead, pitch to him. If you want to pitch around him, I can live with that. Like, if you want, Devers kills you as a hitter. I get it. If you want to throw him off speed pitches and junk and work around the corners and nibble a little bit so that he doesn't crush a home run and tie the game, I feel you, bro. But to just not compete and say, go on down to first base, absolute joke. Top 5, they had to pitch to him with the bases loaded. He ripped a 2-run base hit, and then another 2-run hit made it 7-1. That was it for Gerrit Cole. That was it for the ball game. Yankees lose in an embarrassing fashion.
Nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Ronnie says, talk about a man emasculating himself in front of 40,000. Yikes. Yeah, that's got to be embarrassing. And 40,000 in the stadium. Let's not forget the regional television audience and the national television audience. Today's game was on Fox, I believe. So, or MLB Network. Yeah. So, Ronnie, you're onto something. But just a tough day for the Yanks, made tougher by an uncompetitive performance from Gerrit Cole. Paris Grubb says, even if he hit a 500-foot home run, who cares? At least you don't wuss out, right? And at worst, it's a tie game. I mean, you don't like to call a guy scared, but he was just scared. He was scared of pitching to Devers. He was scared of being embarrassed. And that's not what you want out of an ace. I'm sorry. Just pathetic. Pathetic. Anyway, let's take a few more comments here. Sergeant Zilla says, they stink. Worst $305 million team ever made so far. And then Sam G says, Cole is the laughing stock of baseball today. Got that right. So, John M., I think, summarizes it well. He says, freaking embarrassing. And Yanks just says that Cole was shook. It's a great way to describe it. He was shook by all the past performance that Devers has had against him, and it shook my day too, because I've never seen anything like that. Even on the broadcast, Michael Kay was in disbelief, and then I was watching the clip on the MLB Network version, and I think it was Tom Verducci, and he was in disbelief. Everybody was in disbelief. So, look, I got to hear what Cole and what Aaron Boone have to say about that. Reminder, please subscribe to the channel. We are very, very close to 42,000 subscribers. I'm not one of those people who likes to get on here and beg for subscribers, subscribe. But I love it when we click over to a new 1,000 mark. So go ahead and subscribe if you're new. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. It's free. It helps other people find the channel. And we want to get this community as big as possible before the playoffs. Marco C. with the final word today. He says, I have no respect for Cole anymore. Chicken shit. And I think, my friend, you just named the podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.
Ball game over.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.